It's May 2024. I've been teaching for 29 years. A lot has changed in education. A lot has changed in technology in the last few years. 3 years ago, I was leading the Nova Scotia Virtual School for the province, looking after the correspondence studies programs, revamping things after going through COVID. Then I took a change in direction and decided to come back as a literacy consultant, or literacy coach rather, in CCRCE. I love my job. I loved my last job as well. I love a challenge and I love things that are new. I will say that when I decided to take the course with MUN and CBU, I was a little apprehensive, simply because I had to do everything on my own. I had to figure out which courses I wanted. I wasn't in a cohort. There wasn't a set standard of where I was going. Had to make sure I was registering for courses myself. I'm a little old for doing those things. Sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But I learned, and I persevered, and I made it through. There were a few tough points along the way. There were a couple of courses that made me think about, this might not be worth what I was thinking I was going to do. I'm a big proponent for educational technology. And consolidating my final piece of my e-portfolio, it's important for me to think about how even those courses that challenged me to the point that I wasn't sure if this is the direction I wanted to go in. I only have 2 years left before I retire. And is this really what I wanted to do? It isn't going to give me really any bonus financially. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm a lifelong learner. My husband thinks I'm nuts sometimes for that. But it is important to me to be continually improving my education and my learning. So fast forward to this course. I had no idea what to expect. Wasn't sure where we were going with it at all. And it made me think, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, when all of a sudden the consolidation of the course was happening in less than 5 weeks. I wasn't sure if I could handle having a full course in 5.5, 6 weeks, while also doing a simultaneous final course. I really thought maybe I bit off more than I could chew. However, I persevered yet again. I became resilient. I found the grit and the determination to be able to manage my time, figure out a better way to manage my time. And then simultaneously with this, I decided to take on a second job, something that I find very exciting, very new, an entrepreneurial business of my own, something that will allow me to build on what I've been learning through Educational Technology Masters, through my coaching tools, through life in general, and be able to apply it in a whole different way outside of the classroom. I guess what I'm trying to say is, when I started this course, I had a bit of a meltdown. I really thought I was going to snap. And I bit off one day at a time, and I made it through. And then by the end of the first week, I looked at my husband and went, I think I can do this. I think I'm going to be okay. And I had a little bit of a meltdown again. And by the end of the second week, I went, no, I'm going to be able to do this. One assignment at a time, one reading at a time, one bit of information at a time, one discussion post at a time. And as it fell into place, I realized I was a much better person for having to face the challenges that this pressure had put on me. And I realized just exactly how perseverant and how resilient and how determined I am.